June 24th, 2018. I caught some fish yesterday on the east side of Lake Winnebago in the mud, and I wanted to see if I could replicate it today. When you get on a mud bite, from my experience, when you get on a mud bite, it can last for a while. Last year, I got on a mud bite on the west side of Lake Winnebago right after 4th of July, and it ran through July into August. It was a lot of fun. I was able to go out just about every time and mark fish in the mud, and then troll through them. It wasn't always a lot of fish. Most of the time, it was 2 or 3 fish, but it was just so consistent and just a fun way of fishing. I went out yesterday, and with the intention of finding as many pods of fish as I could, and unfortunately, I found the conditions that I thought the fish should be in. I was only able to connect with fish on one spot. If this is your first time here, I'm an avid fisherman. I live in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I fish the Winnebago chain as much as I can. In an effort to be a better fisherman, I'm documenting 100 fishing trips and posting the results on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along. Hit the little bell icon if you want to make sure you get all the updates.
Pick a fish, I want to pick your bump board. Yeah. Guess you should have worn them out a little bit. For a little while. I saw him and then it just kind of slowly went back.
Quite the difference from, is that a fish?
Yeah.
Or some guy yelling, you got a fish on.
That only happened once.
When I was here. There you go.
That was Green Bay, wasn't it? Or maybe it happened twice.
I think it was Green Bay.
I'm fishing with my nephew Brandon today. He's meeting me at High Cliff Park. He's actually from Green Bay, so High Cliff just makes sense, so he doesn't have to go around the lake to get to a landing. So I launched on the 24th Street landing, and I ran up to High Cliff to pick him up. And on the way, I had checked the spot again just to see if the fish were there, and sure enough, they were. At least the bait fish that I think I was marking. And so when I picked him up from High Cliff, as we're going to the spot, which is probably 1.5 miles away, I told him that I'd caught fish yesterday on cranks, but I wanted to see if the crawler bite was a little bit better. And his face kind of lit up because his buddy's son had been making crawler rigs, and Brandon said he bought some from him and he wanted to see if they worked. buddy is Nick and his son is Drake, and I'd fished with Nick a few times. And Nick is a really cool guy. It was fun fishing with him, and you know, I'm always ready to help out a kid. So when Brandon brought the lures out, I kind of looked at them, and the blade on them was a lot smaller than I was used to. I was a little concerned it was going to be hard to catch a fish, but I wanted to keep an open mind. So we put 2 of Drake's lures down with 4 other lines behind planer boards. We used 1 ounce weights, and we would put the spinner rigs between 30 feet and 45 feet back. Going 1.1 to 1.4 miles an hour, we figured we covered water from maybe 15 feet down to 19 feet. And that pattern was working fairly well. You may have noticed a new character in the video today. Brandon made me a bump board. It's a measuring device, makes it a little easier to measure the fish. It kind of contains the fish so that it's harder for them to jump out. You know, if they jump around, they kind of are directed back into the bump board. So he actually made 2 of them. One was out of a piece of plastic gutter, about 4-inch gutter. And the other one is a PVC pipe that you put an end cap on, and looks like cut in half with a bandsaw. Put a measuring tape underneath. It's a DNR measuring tape. I'm not exactly sure where he got it, but he's got a lot of connections in the DNR. So pretty cool. It's a lot easier than the yardstick I used to use. Going forward, it should make it a lot easier to measure the fish. We caught a bunch of fish right away, and the 4th fish we caught was on one of Drake's lures, so we were real happy with taking pictures of it. And then 2 fish later, number 6 was also on one of Drake's lures. So there's no doubt about it, they worked. It's a great story. So Drake's going through some hard medical times. He's got an autoimmune condition that he needs to take treatments for, and these treatments can last up to 4 hours. And his parents wanted to find something for him to pass the time. So they got him involved in making these lures, and the promise that they made to him is if he made enough money, he was going to get a puppy. It's such a great story, and I was planning on telling the story anyway, but if the lure is working so well, it's even a better story. If you want to support Drake, go to drakesdeathrigs.com. I'll put the address in the comments, so if you can navigate down to there, you can just click on the link.
Bumped.
Oh, you're going to edit that out now. That's what Dad said, no F-bomb. He wants to total them?
This was trip 48 of 100 of my effort to be a better fisherman. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along. We caught 9 walleyes for a total of 89 for the year. With this information, let's get out and fish.
After this